crocheted winter headband ear warmer. And it's super simple. It's perfect for beginner. So let's just go ahead and get started here. Going to start with a slip knot. Start with 12 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now for the remainder of this, we're going to use kind of a loose tension. So don't, if you're a crocheter who uses a tight tension, you're going to want to loosen it up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start with a slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. So there's 1, 2. Okay, slip stitch, we're just going to put the hook in the chain, yarn over, pull through, and pull right through that first chain there. Then we're going to do a half double in the next chain. So a half double, you yarn over, go into the next chain, pull through, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That's a half double. Then on the next one, we're going to slip stitch again, next chain, slip stitch, next chain, half double. Pull through all 3 loops. And we're going to do that all the way across. Super simple. Slip stitch in the next chain, half double in the next. Got your 3 loops on the hook, pull through all 3 at once. And we're going to do that all the way across. Slip stitch, half double, slip stitch, half double, slip stitch. Okay, so we're going to end with a slip stitch. Start with a slip, we end with a slip. Then we're going to chain 1, turn our work, slip stitch in the first one, double in the next, half double, slip stitch, half double, slip stitch, half double. Now be careful where you're going into. Make sure you're going into that space under the chain. So if you turn your work up like this, you can see that those slip stitches and the half doubles are forming chains at the top. So you want to go under the chain. Here's your half double, another slip. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with that. Half double, slip stitch, half double, and end with a slip. And that's a little bit tricky, that very last one there. It's going to be a little bit tight, so just shove it in there. Here we go, and a slip. Chain 1 and turn. Okay, that's how it's looking. So now you're going to continue that until the panel is 18 inches long. Right, we are going to continue now with the second panel. And for the second panel, we're using this super fluffy furry yarn here. So let's start with our slip knot. There we go. Even the slip knot's a little bit tricky. Okay, so we're going to do 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And all we're going to do is single crochets all the way across. So for the single crochet, we're going to start with the second chain from the hook. Now, here's where it gets tricky with this particular yarn. You can't see the chains, but you can feel them. So for this whole entire project with this yarn, we're going to do everything by feel. Okay, so the first chain will be right here, first chain from the hook. We want to insert the hook into the second chain from the hook, and you can feel the hole. See there? Okay, so you're going to stick the hook through the hole. Going to yarn over, pull it through the chain. Now you've got 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through both loops, and that's it. That's your single crochet. Okay, feel for that next hole. That'll be your next chain. Hook goes through, yarn over, pull it through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. That's it, all the way across. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, 1 chain, and then you turn. All right, now for the next row, and each row following, you're going to skip that very first space. You're going to go into the second space for your first single. 1, find the next space, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is where it gets really tricky. Okay, your 9th one is going to go into the turning chain. Okay, so you can feel it. Okay, now you're going to chain 1, turn. And that's it. You're going to do the same single crochets all the way across until you reach 18 inches long. Okay, so 18 inches. We will put the 2 panels together and that'll be it. We'll be done. Okay, we are done with both of our panels. Now with the first panel, we're going to want to tie it off. Okay, so just pull that last chain up, cut it off, tie it nice and tight. Okay, and we're going to weave in the end. Preferred method is to tie it off. So I normally just weave in a little bit and then tie it off. Okay, we have tied off the chunky panel, woven in the end, tied it off. Now we're going to put the panels together. Super simple. We're going to go ahead and work with the last panel you were working with. You did not tie that off, so we're still all put together here. And we are just going to do slip stitching all the way down each side of the panel. Okay, so we're going to start in the corner Just insert the hook, and I like to use a smaller hook for this. Your preference, you can do whatever you like, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, in the corner. Pull it through for a slip stitch. Now, the way we are going to hide as much as possible the yarn from showing on the other side is by going into the inside loops, the inside strands of the chunky yarn, the light yarn. Okay, so you can just see this, rather than going all the way through and grabbing the yarn where it's going to all show as big strands. We're going to grab any inside along the edge, pull it through for a slip stitch, working all the way across, all the way down the line. Again, an inside strand, pull through, next space. Again, you're just feeling your way down the line here. Grabbing an inside loop, or strand, I should call it, and pull it through. And that's it. Okay, so go ahead and finish that all the way around, and then we will be back and see how it looks. Okay, so we have gone ahead and put the two sides together, slip stitching all the way around. Now we need to tie off the ends here, or tie these together. So this is actually going to be done in 2 steps. We're going to do the furry side first, and then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to go over the chunky lighter color yarn so we hide all the seams. Okay, so now we're going to slip stitch along these short edges. We're going to go through the brown furry yarn first with slip stitches. It's a little bit awkward. I'm trying to find the spaces. There we go. Again, because you can't really see the stitches with this furry yarn, you have to feel for the holes. And we're just doing slip stitches. So doing it this way, you will not see the seam on the brown side, on the furry side. That's why we're going to do this in 2 steps. Here we go. Okay. So now let me show you how that looks. The seam is completely hidden. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and tie that off. We're comfortable with that. I'm going to flip it over. And now, as you can see, that looks pretty bad. You can see that brown seam pretty wide. Does not look good. So this is the second part here. Now we're going to grab the chunky yarn. We're going to attach it in the corners. Put the hook through the corners. With a slip stitch. And it's a little bit awkward. There we go. Now, grab the, you can actually hide the tail in there in the middle. So go ahead and grab your white yarn for some slip stitches. And when we're done with this, you will see that you will have an invisible seam pretty much. And as you can see, this was, up until this point, pretty easy project. So you can make a bunch of these up very quickly, different colors. These would make great holiday gifts. And what's really cool, you can also give these out as teacher gifts. It's really hard if you want to give your kids' teachers a little something during the holidays or at the end of the year, and it's so hard to know what to get them. You don't know what they like, you don't want to spend a lot of money. So here you go. A head warmer. Can't go wrong. Actually better if you can grab 2 strands. Again, for stability. Okay. There we go. And there is your invisible seam. You know it's there, nobody else knows it's there. And flip it over again, and the brown seam just all fits together. So that's it. You're going to tie it off, weave in your ends as usual, and you're done. It's very nice.